Hello and welcome back to another piano video. I hope you've been enjoying this series so far. This is now our 11th video. There were 7 that we covered on the basic piano scales, and we moved on to chords. Yesterday I kind of did a day in the dugout where we went back to basics a bit, particularly because now I figured out a way to show the whole piano. And today I actually improved a little further. I've got a few sort of strings attached to stabilize the camera a bit more, and I've worked a bit more on lighting, so the piano is a bit easier to see. So these are improving fast, and I'm going to keep problem solving on my end as I watch the videos afterward. So I hope you've been practicing, and we know a few minor chords, minor scales. And ultimately what I want to do with this current series of videos is work our way all the way through so that we know all 12 minor chords, major chords. We've seen some examples of them. This is going to be a pretty long series. Oh, and I can see my cat is wandering around. Shiger will occasionally appear in these videos. He might teach something once in a while. We'll see. But either way, he likes it when I'm up to this. So anyway, let's go down to the keyboard and pick up where we left off last time. So I'm just gonna tilt this a little here so that you can see. All right. So as with yesterday, if I need to show you some stuff here on the left part of the keyboard, I'll move over so that you can see it clearly. And then likewise with the right here as well. I'll make sure that, because I know you want to be able to imitate this at home and hit pause and try it out or go back and re-watch. So yesterday, I showed you a little bit about the Moonlight Sonata, So those are like the opening chords, and we talked about just this basically C sharp minor scale. So it's a chord, right? So that was the C sharp minor scale. And we did cover this before. You get to C sharp minor by finding its relative major, which is E major, right? And that has 4 sharps, the F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, D sharp. And that's because you get to E by going up the circle of fifths 5 times, right? So that's why you have 4 sharps. So it's a relative major. The minor key always has the key signature of the relative major. So it goes like this. We always raise the 7th in the harmonic minor scale. But if you didn't, you just did the key signature, it would be like that. So the chord was the 1st, the 3rd, the 5th note, right? And then the octave, you complete it by hitting the top note here. So for the Moonlight Sonata, that opening chord progression, slow it down. So what we're getting here is actually, so it's going like this, and then notice that progression. We talked about the different progressions of a chord. You have the root form. So that's just the 1st, 3rd, 5th note. You have first inversion. You just slide your fingers along to the next allowed notes. Right? So that's how you think of it. The 1st, 3rd, 5th, and the 8th. You're not allowed to touch anything else. So basically it's like those are your slots. And you slide your fingers along to the next slot. Second inversion is this. And then we're back to the root inversion. Of course, it's an octave higher now, but those are the 3 basic things you'll see: the root inversion, the first inversion, the second. So for the Moonlight Sonata, what we're starting on the second inversion. And what we're doing is we're doing the broken form. Remember, the broken form was... You could just keep walking up the piano like that. Okay? So what we're doing is, instead though, we're starting on the second inversion, and it's going like this. Root form, first inversion, second inversion, root form, first inversion. Okay, so we just start on second inversion. So second inversion, root inversion, first inversion, second inversion. Okay, it's a little trickier because not only that, but we're actually starting, so there's like 4 beats. We're starting on the second of those 4 beats. So it goes, so it starts like this. Right? If I turn my metronome on, a metronome's also really important to, you know, like, so let's just get a nice steady beat here. So in one beat, imagine 4 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? So we're starting on the 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So that's very slow, just to show you what's happening there. But that is all what we can do with C sharp minor. So yesterday, I told you that we'll go to the next chord and we'll take a look at what's happening there, because that is going to really, you're going to be glad we had that review session yesterday, because we're going to dig into some more cool stuff. Okay, so now this is how it sounds. And then we go. Okay, what's happening here? Well, let's look at the notes. We have these notes here. We have another chord inversion. But what chord is it? Well, remember I told you that black keys can have 2 names. Okay? I gave you the example of this black key here that we called F sharp, right? Because we've got an F here, that's the sharp. And then we've got the G here. So if we go down a semitone, it's a flat. Now wait a minute, you might be saying, hey, I wish there was a sticker that said I am here. Well, I gave you that, and that is this note here, right? This middle C. Always find that you can, everywhere in the piano, you can see these like 2 black keys together. So immediately to the left, that's the C, okay? Well, if you have, this is your I am here sticker, okay? So this is, if you ever get stuck, just, you can always find a C by finding 2 black keys immediately to the left. Once you have that, you can, so if I told you, so this is F sharp, and you're like, huh? What, like, how do you know that's F sharp? Well, you can quickly look, find any C, okay? So here's this C, and you go up the alphabet. C, D, E, F. So that's how, like, I could quickly tell you this is an F, just because I get so used to it. With time, you'll eventually just memorize these in the same way we memorize C. For example, maybe you'll remember that F is always the note that's to the left of the 3 black keys, right? And you can quickly find all the Fs on the piano. The nice thing about having just those 2 points that I can refer to is I can get the other notes quicker. So if I told you that I had, say, A flat, you're like, okay, well, I need to find A, and I'm going to go to the semitone lower than that. So here is A, okay? How would I find A quickly? Well, if you know that the C is to the left of these 2 black keys, and that F is to the left of the 3 black keys, well, here's A. You know that it just goes F, G, and A. Also, A is like 2 letters down in the alphabet from C. So we can go backwards. C, B, A. So there you go. With just 2 keys, we can quickly find any note. And so I told you A flat, you found A. So you know that by the rules, to go flat means to go down a semitone. So that's A flat. So here we go back to this G flat, which was also F sharp. Now in the Moonlight Sonata, that second part, we have this thing going on here, right? So let's look at the keys. We have this black key here. Now I said A flat for a reason, and that's because that's actually the key that we're on. So right, just like I told you that this leftmost of the three black keys, it's called G flat or F sharp. Well, this one in the middle, so its neighbor here, is also called, so it's called A flat because the key to the immediate right of it is A. And it's also called G sharp because the key to the immediate left of it is G. So this note that we're on is going to be one of the other. Either it's going to be A flat or it's going to be G sharp. Now, if you'll remember from our circle of fifths, I'm going to go to this side of the keyboard here. When we found all the remaining, a lot of the keys on the left side are the flat keys. So we have C, we go down to F, then we go down to B flat, then we go to E flat, then we go to A flat. Well, there we go. There is that A flat, right? Basically think of it as that black key that we were on. Okay, so you'll notice from when we found the A flat major scale, right, we went down the circle of fifths 4 times. That means we had 4 flats. And the 4 flats, we add them in this order: B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat. So it has all those 4 flats in there. And what we have learned about chords, you just take the first note of the scale, the third note of the scale, and the 5th note of the scale. So there is A flat major chord. And to do the broken form, there we go. So that's that chord, except there's a twist. There's a bit of a twist, and this will come, we are eventually going to talk about how to read music, like how to read the notes. And when we look at that, actually, if you look at what Beethoven has written out, and you're reading this, it's not A flat, it's G sharp. Now, why is it G sharp? Well, it's because Beethoven's Moonlight Sonata is in C sharp minor. Right? So that means that the key signature and all the notes are going to be written in sharps. We can't throw flats in there. So actually, what this chord here is, it has another name. Do you want to take a guess? You can pause it and take a guess. And then, okay, well, it's actually just called G sharp major. Now you might wonder, wait a minute, we didn't do G sharp major. We did A flat major. We did all the other ones. However, remember I said the circle of fifths could just keep going, right? Sorry, I did something wrong there. Okay, let's start here. So I told you when we get to this, normally we stopped and we went the other way. However, we could keep going. Okay, well let's just, okay, that was F sharp. Let's just move it down to this F sharp. We're going to keep going up by 5 more. We hit C sharp. And then we go 5 more. We hit G sharp. So there's that G sharp. So actually, if we went up the circle of fifths and we kept adding sharps, we would arrive at what's called G sharp major. Now, G sharp major is going to look just like A flat major. The only thing is it's all sharps. How do we know what to do? Well, we went up how many times? Let's count this. So we start on C. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 8 sharps in G sharp major. Now that's going to sound weird, but we have a rule we can follow, and we can always figure it out. Do that pattern, right? So take this F sharp and C sharp and do this little walk where your fingers are the same distance apart.
Okay, so if I continue this walk, that's 6, so that's the 6th sharp I would add would be E sharp here. Now the next one I would add would be B sharp. And now this is where it gets really interesting. The next one I would add, we're on a white key. What is that called? Well, here's the thing. We already have F sharp, okay? So what we would do is we would be landing on F sharp, but we're going to sharp F sharp, okay? I know that sounds weird, but it's called a double sharp. We will see this in music. The equivalent is called a double flat. Sometimes you double flat a note. Well, what does it mean to double sharp F? Well, when you sharp F, you go up by 1 semitone. So that takes us to this black key here. When you double sharp a note, you go up 1 more semitone. Okay, so F double sharp is actually G. Okay, it's the note G because it's 2 semitones up. So here's our pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That is going to be the key signature for G sharp major. So what I have G sharp, I have A sharp, I have C sharp, I have D sharp, I have B sharp, I have F sharp, and where I hit this where I hit this F here would actually be F double sharp. Okay, so actually this F note is E sharp. Okay, when I hit F, I would just go up twice to this. Okay, so there are all the notes, and notice it's exactly like A flat major. Okay, so that is the second chord in Beethoven's Moonlight Sonata. And then we have, okay, what is that? Actually, I'm going to give that to you for homework. What is this one? That's the third one, and we're going to pick up on that next time. Because this is a great way for us to learn the different major, minor chords by way of actual pieces. So the fun thing is we can go through that and we can actually learn. We can apply everything we've done with the circle of fifths to figure out major, minor keys, and then put that all together to actually start learning. You know, because I could just go through in a boring video series where here's C major, here's C minor. You know, that's boring. Like, who wants to watch 24 videos of just here's a scale? Like, yeah, you can learn that. But it's much more interesting if there's a piece and you can see where this stuff comes from. You're probably going to remember that. So we're going to put together a puzzle. By the end of watching all these videos on chords, I'm going to teach you all 24. So basically the major and minor on every key. I'm also going to teach you how these double names can be. So you're going to learn about double sharp and double flat, all because of how we are going to proceed to do these things. So you're going to learn it, but you're going to have so much fun learning it, you won't even realize how much you've learned by the end. So I hope this one was insightful. You now have G sharp major, otherwise known as A flat major, that you can add to your practice. And you have a puzzle. What is this one? Starts on this C sharp, or is it D flat? Well, you could figure that out, and we will pick up on it next time. So, I'm gonna lift away here, and yeah, this was we went a little extra this time, but I'm more or less 15 minutes is my approximate. I mean, if we're having fun and we're really digging in, I'm not gonna cut it off extra short, just for the sake of it. Thank you for watching. I'm on Patreon. It's patreon.com/JohnRobin. There are some ways you can support me, even for just $3 a month, like a cup of coffee. Hey, you want to buy me Americano? Give me one of those a month. That's, you know, I got a $5. I've got a $5 one, or you can help me have healthy dinners for $10 a month. There's a lot of ways that I've made that you can pledge support, and that's going to help me keep making these videos, bring me to my dream, which I you know, someday I just love to be in a studio with a grand piano
maybe a small team of people helping me make these videos, and just show up in the morning and play all day long, go home for dinner. That is my dream. And yeah, if you know, if you support me on Patreon, all that will add up and help me get there. Meanwhile, I'm going to keep making these videos, and I may throw a few surprises in. But one thing is for sure, you will see me tomorrow. Okay, I hope you keep practicing. Until next time.